It says 8 years ago, Tashil. So in that 8 years ago, what did he invest? Let's go to that now. Tashil invested here 8 years ago 30,000. Okay, there is the money that was invested 8 years ago. If this is today, at 8 here is today, so 8 years ago, what did he invest? 30,000. So if I can say into an account, so that ends that. How much money? Let's look at the question so that we can understand. 9.4.1. How much money will he receive if he withdrew his money today? As I said, this part represents today. They were just trying to confuse, but it's just simple that. So what you do is take 30,000, you grow it until when? Today. See that? But now when you're growing it, what you need to understand is what they gave us here. Yes, it's 8 years. Yes, it's 30,000, but look at this 6.5. So your I is that 6.5. You divide it by 100, which will give us 0.065. That's what you need. Okay, and then the n part, the compounding, I told you my n is my compounding. It's 12. Not, this is not the number of years, it's the compounding. They say it monthly, so that is 12. Hello again, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to our revision session. And in this section now, I'm not teaching, but I'm doing a quick revision based on the lessons that I had. There are 2 lessons that I had on the additional payments and withdrawals. I hope you are able to catch those. If not, I will encourage you to go through those 2 lessons because it will make sense what I'm doing here. Now, if this is your first time to come in contact with this channel, this is the 24-minute lesson. I will encourage you to subscribe to this channel so that every time I'm posting some videos, YouTube sends you notifications. Now, there is a notification bell that you need to turn on so that you receive these notifications. So I'll encourage you, go on and subscribe right now. This channel will help you. Believe me, it will help you. It has helped quite a lot of students, and they if you can see the comments I'm getting, some are saying I moved from a position of lower marks, I ended up in a good position where I end up getting 60s to 70s. Well, most of the students I'm focusing on are not distinction students, are those students who are actually struggling even to get a 30%, but I've seen them moving from 30 to 60 to 70. Trust me, that is a big jump. But also there is 1 or 2 who will tell you that I'm now at a level of a distinction. You know, that is encouraging. But I'm looking at you who's saying I'm battling even to just get what is happening with this financial maths or any mathematics you can think of. So if you're struggling, I'm here for you. And that's why you see me moving so slowly, because I know what you're going through. I was once in your shoes. Sometimes teachers, I couldn't even understand whether they were coming in or going out, whether they were starting or ending the lesson. But at the end of the day, I used to go at home. I found myself a tutor who used to be patient with me. And in a way, I end up understanding this maths. So that's why I'm also bringing this to you. Anyway, let me not go back there. But let's look at this question. As I say, this is additional payments and withdrawals. So I took in a previous paper, previous question paper. I hope this is clear to you, and I'll try to go through this so that we can understand what's happening here. It says, exactly 8 years ago, Tashil invested 30,000 in an account earning 6.5% per annum compounded monthly. So a few things there that we need to start already highlighting. The time period is 8 years. The principal is 30, that's your P. the money that the tashil, or the money that was invested at the beginning of the time. And then the interest rate is 64.5. You know what to do there. You divide by 100 so that you can use that. And then the compounding is monthly. And when they say monthly, you ask yourself, it says per annum. How many months are they in an annum, or how many months are they in a year? Is 12 months. These are very, very important. So before we do anything, let's come with a timeline. So what am I saying? I'm saying you have a timeline here like that. It's 8 years, and if I can just do that, this is my 4, this is my 2, this is my that, and then this is that. I'm just trying to estimate this. I hope it will give me 8 at the end. Alright, let's do that. So I have here my T0, which is my year 1, my year 2, my year 3, T4, 5, 6, 7, and year T8, which is my year 8. So what am I saying here? We are saying, there is that statement now to say exactly 8 years ago. So it's as if you are here. This is today, you know. This is like today. And then you are looking 8 years back. So it's like you're going backwards 8 years ago. But it doesn't matter. Forget about that part. But still the method will be the same. It says, let's look at this. It says 8 years ago, Tashil. So in that 8 years ago, what did he invest? Let's go to that now. Tashil invested here 8 years ago 30,000. Okay, there is the money that was invested 8 years ago. If this is today, at T8 here is today, so 8 years ago, what did he invest? 30,000. So if I can say into an account, so that ends that. How much money? Let's look at the question so that we can understand. 9.4.1. How much money will he receive if he withdrew his money today? As I said, this part represents today. They were just trying to confuse, but it's just simple that. So what you do is take 30,000, you grow it until when? Today. See that? But now when you're growing it, what you need to understand is what they gave us here. Yes, it's 8 years. Yes, it's 30,000, but look at this 6.5. So your I is that 6.5. You divide it by 100, which will give us 0.065. That's what you need. Okay, and then the n part, the compounding, I told you my n is my compounding. It's 12. This is not the number of years, it's the compounding. They say it monthly, so that is 12. So now if I want to calculate how much will he withdraw today, so you use that formula. A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power n. So A is equal to our principal, which is that P, 30,000. Alright, and then it's 1 plus I, which is our I there, 0.065. Okay, now you divide that I by the compounding. They say it monthly 12. Then the exponent you're gonna also have is your 12. Just don't want to is our 12. So you have another exponent 12. Then you multiply by the number of years, which is, they told us, after the 8-year period, because they said 8 years ago. So you get the amount of money that you must have if this was done 8 years ago. So today, if it's 2022, you can just ask yourself, 8 years ago is 2020. It means it was 8 years ago was what? It's 2022 minus 8, it is 2012. Am I right? Something like that. Whatever, you can just calculate, guys. Look at this, is 30,000, which is 1 plus 0.065 over 12. You multiply that by the exponent 12 times what? Times 8. Alright, equal to, and then I get this is the amount of money he will have today, 50,390 rand 069, which is 50,390 rand 7 cent. 50,390 rand 7 cent. Now this is the amount of money he will have today. Alright, so far so good, not complicated, it's straightforward. Now what I want is these 7 marks. Then it says Tashil withdrew. See, now we're coming to the withdrawal. Tashil withdrew 10,000 3 years after making the initial deposit and reinvested. You are adding now 10,000 5 years after making the initial deposit. Let's put that in the timeline. Now Tashil withdrew, we'll make it red because you're taking out money. So 3 years after, so we come to 3 years here. There is 3 years. He's taking out what? 10,000. Okay, that is Tashil. And then Tashil withdrew 10,000 3 years after making the initial deposit and reinvested 10,000 5 years after making the initial deposit. Again, we'll make it plus 10,000 here. Okay, so he withdrew, he added after making the initial deposit. Calculate the difference. We want the difference between the final amount Tashil will now receive after 8 years and the amount he would have received had there not been any transactions on the account after the initial deposit. So if there were no transactions, we know how much he got. It was that 50,000 something. So if there were no transactions, he got 50,000. Now because there are transactions, we want to find that amount and then we subtract these two figures. So now look at this. To put that into perspective, this was 9.4.1 here. Now let's look at 9.4.2 so that you can understand what's happening here. That again, I'm going to use the two ways we did in the previous lessons to say what you do. You consider the 30,000 that you grew. So this 30,000 that you grew for 8 years, you take that amount, it's still very relevant. And then we grow 10,000 here until, because these are the additional payments, and 30,000 and 10,000 they were adding into the account, it's plus. So let's grow this 10,000 and see what it will become if it was in that account. So I'm going to use A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power n, and A is equal to, remember now we're looking at 10,000. What will it become? So it's 1 plus, now 10,000, it's similarly, the interest rate I did not change, it's 0.06, even n is 12, 0.065. Alright, didn't change, so we do that, which is I plus 0.065 divided by 12 times, to the exponent 12. Now you ask yourself, from T5 to T8, how many years here? So T5 to T8 is how many years? It's 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 3 years here. I think that. So you come here and say 12 times 3, because you always multiply by the number of years, the compounding times the number of years. Then this will give me how much this 10,000 is going to be. So let's look at this 10,000. It will be 10,000, 1 plus 0.065, and then you divide by 12 and to the power 12 times 3. Alright, how much money is this? This is 12,146 rand 7172 actually. 12,146 rand 72 cent. 12,146 rand 72 cent. I hope I did this right. Let me just double check. No, because I feel like I did something. I left out a figure there. to that is what? 10, 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 0,065 over 12 to the power 12 times 3. 12,146 rand 72. So it's 12, not 121, it's 12,000. Alright, so this is the amount of money which this 10,000 will become. Look at this. So you'll have 10,000 in the future. Look at this now. If I write these figures, so this 10,000 here becomes 12,146 rand 72 cent. So you would have withdrawn this money, but the 30,000 was 50,390 rand 07. Now let's ask ourselves, what about this 10,000 that you withdrew? We are also going to grow this 10,000 here and find out what it is. Don't forget, I doesn't change, 0,065, and n is still 12. So now let's find out what this 10,000 was going to be and see what it gives us. So we're going to have A is equal to P1 plus I to the power of n. So A is equal to P, which is 10,000, 1 plus I, which is 0,065 over 12. Now you multiply by the exponent 12. The number of years are the ones that are important. Now from T3, you are moving here from T3 all the way to T8. How many years? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So it's 8 minus 3, which is 5. So you multiply by that 5 here. So we find out what this 10,000 was going to become in 5 years. So I've got 10, 1, 2, 3 thousand, which is 1 plus 0,065 over 12, and then it's what? To the exponent 12 times 5. Are you with me? Equal to, then it becomes 13,828 rand 17 cent. 13,828 rand. See that one? Are you with me? It's what? It's 13,828 rand 17 cent. 13,828 rand 17 cent. So this is this. Now, how do you get the final answer? 3 figures. So this is what you're having. It's 13,000 what? 828 rand 17. 828,17. As you see, I used red. So what do? Because it was minus, it will also still remain here as the negative. So you can see what you do. You're going to add these 2 figures, because this one and this one, you add it, and then you subtract that one. That's all. So you say amount of money, in account is equal to, of course, at the end of 8 here, I don't want to be specific here. What do? You take 50,390,07, you add that 12,146,72. you see, these are the monies. Let me just 50,390,07 and then 12,142. Then you subtract that 13,828 rand 17 cent equal to, there we go, the amount that he has is 48,708 rand 62. 48,708 rand 62. 48,708 rand 62 cent. This is the amount of money that is in the account, and the statement says calculate the difference between the final amount Tashil will now receive after 8 years and the amount he will have received. So you just need now to say, okay, he got 48,000. He was supposed to receive 50,000. Now the difference, then you can say difference is equal to, then you subtract that 50,390 rand 7 cent minus the one that he actually got because of the withdrawals and the additions. And then you get the amount. That's it. I don't know whether it does make sense. So I will say 50,390 rand 7 cent minus 48,708 rand 62 cent. You are supposed, the difference is 1,681 rand 45. 1,681 rand 45 cent. This is the difference. This is what actually he lost because of those withdrawals that he did. His money became 1,681 rand 45 rand less than the 50,000 that you are supposed to receive. Okay, so guys, this is so what I did. You grow, but know which one is negative because of the withdrawal, know which one is positive. Now, what if you want to do it and by the way, this can be done once. You can literally write this thing as one statement, this thing. So what do? You write it like this. You are like, if I was writing this as one statement, I just want to find, okay, you're going to write it like this. To say A, to get that 48,000, you're going to say 30,000 bracket 1 plus I was 0,065 over 12, right? And then it's 12 times 8, that's the first part, plus you write also this one, the 10,000 is 12 times 3 there, which is 10,000. Are you seeing how you're going to write it? Which is 1 plus 0,065 over 12, and then it's 12 times 3, and then you say minus, it was another 10,000, the one that you withdrew. So you see how you write this, minus 1 plus 0,065, it's 0,065 over what? Over 12, and then I need to take this to say to the power 12, and think the year was 5 years. So this is the thing, guys. Look at this. You are writing straight. You are adding and subtracting. So it will give you the answer of 48. That was a simpler one you could have done. Now, quick one. What if you wanted to approach it differently? The approaching differently, you would have done similar timeline. It's still another option, which I still encourage also. You've got a timeline like this. It's 8 years in this timeline. Let me just bring it here. So you've got a timeline like this, which is 8 years. And then in the center here, I've got 4. Here I've got 2. I've got 6. Just divide these. I'll just write the relevant months. So this is your T0, right? And then with your T0, T1, okay, it's fine. This is your T2, this is your T3, this is your T4, your T5, T6, T7, and T8. Now look, they are saying here, you put 30,000, and then in the 30,000, 3 years later, there was a withdrawal at T3. So what do? You take this amount here to say I've got 30,000. You grow this 30,000 up to here. Ask yourself, how much is it gonna be? And then remember also at the same time he withdrew, there is minus 10,000. So there is going to be the money that 30,000 became, then you separate what? 10,000. And then after that, let's do that quickly. So it's going to be A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of N. So A is equal to 30,000 Are you seeing this? 1 plus 0 comma, remember the interest is 0.65 over 12, and then it's what? It's 12 times, look at the period, T0 to T3, this is 3 years. So it's 12 times 3. We get that amount of money. This is the first 3 years that the 30,000 we have. So if you go to your bank after depositing 30,000 with the information that we're given, is it 300,000 or 30,000? They must be careful there. This is 30,000, yes. So it's 1 plus 0.065 over 12 to the power what? 12 times 3. See that? That's the amount. This is 36,440 rand 15 cents. 36,440 rand 15 cents. 36,440 rand 15 cents. So this is the amount of money. That's what I have here. 36,440 15. Now this is the amount of money for the second time. Now we take this amount of money, and they told us what? They said at T5 he added money at T5. So you come here and say, I'm gonna take this amount of money here. The 30,000 is now 36,000, but now he takes out what? He takes out 10,000. That's the key part from this 36,000. So how much is in the account now? In the account is no longer 36,000. So you can say money after, or money at T3 is equal to, then you take 36,440 rand 15 cent minus 10,000, because he withdrew that money. So how much is he having? He has 26,440 rand 15 cent. This is the money. This is the money that is having this guy. Alright, so here instead of saying 36,000, then it becomes, I can write it now, it becomes 26,440 rand 15. That's the money you are going to grow from T3 to T5. I know the space doesn't allow, but that's what I was supposed to write actually here. I can write it on top there. Here to say he has now 26,440 rand 15. This is the amount of money he's having. We are going to say, okay, it's more like now he's starting here. This is your starting point. You invest this money for 5 years at that interest rate. So what are you gonna have? Same thing. You're going to say A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of N. So A, your P now is that 26,440 rand 15, and then you've got 1 plus 0.065 over N is 12, and then is 12 times, look at this, T3 to T5, this is 2 years. So times 2. How much money will this be? So if you do that, it will quickly tell us 26,440 15 bracket 1 plus 0.065 over 12 to the exponent 12 times 2. Okay, so he has what? 30,100 rand and 23 cents. 30,100 rand here. He has 30,123. all right, let me just write it here also. 30,100 rand and 23 cents. That's the amount of money he has. Then at this stage they told you at T5, what did he do? He added what? 10,000. So you take this money, you add here 10,000. You see? So now you are going to also do the same thing to say money at T5. Money at T5 is equal to 30,100.23 0.23 plus, now we're adding 10,000, which is equal to what? If you add 10,000, is not a problem to add, is 40,123 rand. That's the money now he has here. He has actually 40,000. This is R, okay, 40,100 rand and 23 cents. That's the money now that he's starting with now. After 5 years, you grow this money up to 8 years. So you will have now to say A is equal to P, which is now the 40,123 rand. I'm using the same formula, which is 1 plus I is 0.065 over 12. Our N is 12. How many years? From T5, you ask yourself 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 3 years here. Alright, so come here and multiply by 3. You will see now the amount of money we're going to get here when we grow that is 40,000. Let's do that. 40,100,23 bracket 1 plus 0.065 over what? Over 12 to the power of 12 times 3. Then what we have? 48,708 rand 61 cent. 48,708 rand 61 cent is 48,708 rand 61 cent. This is the amount of money that he has here. At the end is 48,808 rand what? 48,708 rand 61 cent. 708 actually, not 8. It's 708 rand 61 cent. If you check this, 48,708. Look at this amount. 48,708 and 62. Here it was 61. You see, it's the same amount of money you arrive. So guys, it's up to you. As I say, what do you want to do? Are you going to do method 2 or are you going to do method 1? Method 1, you can straight away do it once, as I shown you here, to say it can be done just once. You can work this thing through out like this. This one still the same, but I will encourage you not to round off figures here. When you get your answer here, for example, write the full of it. You write the full of it without rounding off until the final answer, where you round off to 2 decimal places. But now this is the way I think this will assist you as you prepare for your final exams. Guys, we've come to the end of our lesson. This is financial maths, and it's the 24-minute lesson where I bring in some previous papers and show you how you can approach them. If you have not subscribed, I will encourage you to do so now, and also remember to share this channel with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.